Hello guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, we're going to talk about the basic rules of differentiation. Basic rules of differentiation. So the first rule we're going to talk about is the constant rule. The first rule is going to be the constant rule. The constant rule. This simply means when you differentiate a constant, for example, there's a function. So when you differentiate this function, since the function is carrying a constant, when you differentiate it, we're going to have 0. For example, a constant simply means a number without no alphabet attached to it. So for example, given you are asked to differentiate this function, for an example, you are asked to differentiate a function where I have f(x) is equals to 5. So differentiating this function, the f prime of this, whereby when you differentiate this is a constant. So when you differentiate this, we are going to have 0. So therefore, when you are differentiating a constant, automatically it becomes 0. The other rule we're going to look at is the power rule. The power rule of differentiation. The power rule. This simply means having a function xn. How do you differentiate this? So when you want to differentiate this function, what you do is that, differentiating this, we're going to have, this is going to multiply any value that is going to be here. So it's going to become n of x, then you subtract it from the value of that. So this is a power rule about. So I'm going to take an example under that. So for example, we have this. We're given a question, fx 3x squared to look for. We're asked to differentiate this. So by differentiating this, we're going to have, this is going to multiply. I said whatever value that is going to multiply it, then you subtract the power by 1. So this is going to become 2 times 3x, 2 subtracting 1. So this is going to give us 2 times 3, which is 6x. 2 minus 1 is 1. So there's no need for us to write it. So this is the second rule of differentiation. Right now I'm going to give you a table that consists, when you're differentiating trigonometry, what you're going to have when you differentiate sin x and cos x. I'm going to give you the table right now. So we're going to go to this table. So we're going to put this as a function fx. I'm going to do this as the derivative. A derivative, which is f prime of x. So the first trigonometry we're going to look at is sin x. So when you differentiate sin x, we're going to have cos x. When you differentiate cos x, we're going to have minus sin x. When you differentiate tan x, we're going to have sec square x. When you differentiate cot x, we're going to have cosec square x. When you differentiate sec x, we're going to have sec x tan x. Lastly, when you differentiate cosec x, we're going to have cosec x cot x. Also, when we differentiate log x, we're going to have 1 over x. When we differentiate exponential x, we're going to have exponential x. When we differentiate exponential with a constant of x, this is going to become k exponential of x of this is what it's going to be. When you differentiate the sine inverse of x, we're going to have 1 all over the roots of 1 minus x squared. When you differentiate the cos inverse of x, we're going to have 1 into sorry, minus 1 into the root of 1 minus x squared. And when you differentiate the tan inverse of x, we're going to have 1 into 1 plus x squared. I really hope this video is helpful.